We brought Marcy Heim in as one of our keynote speakers for this conference for many, many reasons. Her reputation is incredible across the country, internationally, with her speaking and her books. We knew she spoke at international and had rave reviews. She also happens to be very close with a lot of different members of AFP because she speaks all over the country. Her insight into fundraising and her dynamic way of getting that across to the audiences, I can't speak highly enough for her. We will definitely be bringing her back. We have many members who attended this conference who are looking at hiring her to bring her back to speak for their organizations. I couldn't recommend her more highly to anyone. You'd be lucky to get her.
My experience with Marcy today has been fantastic. She's a very powerful speaker, coach. What she's done for me, and I think what she's sharing with the group, is closing the gap between understanding how to set large-scale goals and how you can chunk that down into practical steps so that you can take action and accomplish those goals while cultivating relationships and really helping your donors understand that they're really investing into the future and thinking of their interests first before your own.
Your donors are not in your organization, so they might not know that it's $5,000 a month just to have enough plastic gloves for the nurses' aides to do what they do, or to do what you do in the classroom laboratories. Help them understand what things cost. Then it makes more sense why the dollars are needed to have the impact they have.
What Marcy has shown us today in her cycle is more about the human factor and creating the relationships with your donor that make a huge difference in how I think we should think about it as development officers, but also as how I can work with my board to change their way of thinking, so it's not just about the ask, but it's about building the relationship.
Respect your donors and let them have that time for reflection. But be sure that the next step is clear. When you will talk again about what you're doing, when you will reconnect with them, when you will again reach out to them.
I've been in a lot of trainings, not only here but throughout the states, on fundraising, fund development, estate planning. And what I loved about your session today, Marcy, was that your real life stories. I mean, there's no substitute for that. And you can see it, you can hear this coming from your heart.
I've decided that about 80 to 85% of my success was what was going on in my head. The fact that I felt people loved to give me money, that I was joyous about what I did.
What are the kinds of questions we ask ourselves? Let's be honest, why can't I get this? Why can't I get this done? Why can't I ever find my keys? Why is my office such a mess? Why is there so much paper here that I can't get it? Why am I such a failure at this? Why can't I do this right? Why don't I get this? We ask ourselves the wrong questions. They're bouncing around in our heads. And if we look at it and focus it, I want you to think about your challenges and look at why do people love to invest in this organization? Why do folks give us so much money? Why are people excited to partner with us? Why do people want to invest in our cause? I want you to ask yourself those kinds of questions. Why do I have such a great team? Why am I such a good leader of my team? Why am I able to motivate people to really want to get out there and talk to others about the opportunities at our organization?
I just finished my first and second session of the Artful Ask with Marcy Heim, and I found that it was incredibly relevant to someone who has very little to no fundraising, formal fundraising experience like myself, but that it also would be incredibly impactful for people who've been doing this for years, simply because it goes back to the basics. It's easy to sterilize the relationship that we have with donors in this profession, and she brought it back to making it all about the people and the relationship itself, and you know, making sure that that is the priority always.
I am very pleased with Marcy Heim's presentation at our annual conference. This year we had the largest turnout, and I think it's because she was the headliner for our conference. She provided us with wonderful, real-life scenarios of how we as development professionals can be more confident, more comfortable at making an artful ask.
Would you consider a gift of $25,000 to purchase a new ultrasound machine?
Yes. Give him a hand. Yes. Yes,
We are about 2.5 hours away from where the conference was held, and we were trying to figure out if it was going to be worth our time to give up a day out of the office and travel and be a part of it. But if for nothing else, the ask was such a great thing to take out of it, just 3 sentences, and really is something that can be applied to not only just major gifts, but for smaller dollar amounts as well.
We've just completed our 11th annual Focus on Philanthropy here in Orlando, Florida at Walt Disney World's Yacht and Beach Club. And I want you to know it's been one of our best conferences, and we were delighted to have Marcy Heim with us. She's made special arrangements to come to be with us, and it was just a tremendous opportunity to have her speak to our group. And all of the positive things I've heard so far are that, can we please get her back again next year? So I just want to be able to suggest and recommend, if you need a good dynamic speaker in philanthropy, Marcy Heim's your person.
I just finished a 2-part session with Marcy Heim and the Artful Ask, and I have to be honest that I came to the sessions because I lead a development team for A.T. Still University. I usually come hoping to get a golden nugget or 2 because I've been in development for about 10 years. Instead, I was extremely impressed and surprised that instead I got a fire hose of wonderful knowledge, an action-packed seminar that I can actually share tips, not only for me to put to use, but for me to share with my very young team who I'm trying to mentor in the art of major gift asking.